Hey, Criticize here. This is another critical review. This time I'm going to do a review of my personal camping bag or bug out bag, whatever you want to call it. I take this with me every time I go camping or hiking or anything like that. Never know when you're going to need something out of here. So let me go ahead and open her up and let you see what everything is. I got the OD green tactical looking bag. I'm actually going to make a new one soon, but this is just what I have for right now. So I have this camless machete here. I've heard a lot of bad things about this after I purchased it. I looked up some reviews, but my experience with it, I've actually had quite a good experience with it. The saw blade on the back works extremely well. It's got a lot of weight to it, so you can actually hack through quite a bit with it. I've dug a few small holes with it, things like that, you know. I mean, there are better ones out there. This is way overpriced. I think it was like $20, $25, something like that. And you can buy much better ones for way cheaper, but that's just what I happen to have. It does come with a small little knife here. And, you know, it's got a couple little tool pieces on it and some hooks on the back. It's not very sharp, but, you know, it's better than nothing, I guess. Alright, let's go ahead and open her up. We got the running Snell hand crank radio. I did a video on this already, so if you want to know more about it, just watch that video. Same thing with this flashlight here. It's called the Pro 4 Tactical. I got a video on that as well. Next, we got our first aid kit. This one here I got on Amazon a long time ago. I don't even remember what I paid for it, but I did add a little extra to it. I added some burn kit stuff, blood clotting things, little trauma stuff to it, so that works out really well. I also have some penicillin in there in case you get an infection or anything, like a serious one, of course. Got the Forager's Harvest. This says edible wild plants, and this is actually very specific, regional to about the northern Midwest areas, and that's about where I'm from, so a lot of these plants are there. I would not suggest somebody going out in the woods and using one of these as a first timer. You might not, you know, be able to correctly identify something and get sick or, you know, even die at the worst. But I do have some experience in it, and this book definitely helps me out a lot more. I do know what to look for the most part, so that's just a little handy extra thing. That's all I got in this big part of the bag here. Let me go ahead and put everything back. In this pouch here, I got this knife. It's got a ferro rod here, and Tonto blade. I'm not really a big fan of these at all, but it's better than nothing. So I am going to replace these pretty soon. Also, if you're ever going to go camping, make sure that you have your useful cats that can go and get you some squirrels and birds. No, that was just a joke. Leave your kittens at home, please. So I have this here. It's a little survival bracelet. I should have did a little more research on one before I bought it. The paracord that it came with is really cheap paracord. I need to get some much better stuff. But it also has another flint and steel here. I got a whistle on it. The compass doesn't work though, unfortunately. Like, it just goes all over the place. North is actually that way, and it's pointing there. And every time I move it, it just keeps spinning in a circle. So that's a terrible little compass. I do have the Sawyer water filter, the mini water filter here, and this thing works really well. It's supposedly down to 0.1 microns and can filter 100,000 gallons, so that will last you a very long time as long as you take care of it. I also have a packet of heavy-duty electrical tape, and 60 feet of that, so that can definitely help out with a lot of different situations. Here I do have a compass, And this one, I really like this compass. It's really nice. It does absolutely work. You can see that it's pointing true north, or at least magnetic north. It's got the level on it there, and the peep sight for looking down in there to see exactly where you're going and all that. The only thing I do wish this compass had, and I'll probably buy a different one, is if it had that mirror right here for signaling, then it would be a lot better. So that's the only thing I would really change with this compass itself. I think that's all I have in this pouch. Now in this front pouch here, I have a Bic lighter. Always need another fire source. In this little bag here, not only do I have a little Ziploc bag you can carry some things in, it already has, if you look closely, that's a guitar string in here. It's got a little hole on that side so you can loop it in, and that would be perfect for like a little snare or something like that, little snare trap. Down in here we also have, it's a tight fit for everything, but we have a Breakaway razor knife here. You can see whenever it gets dull, just snap the tip off, pull out another one. That's very useful to have. Go down in here a little deeper. It's a really tight fit whenever that second pouch is filled. But right here we have 3 quick tenders. You can cut off a little piece of that because you don't need much, and those things work amazingly well. Then we have a big flint and steel here. This thing works really nice. It's got this big chunk on the back. This thing works really, really well. So it's always good to have something like that. And then last but not least is the little charging piece for the hand crank solar powered radio. So you can either charge the radio itself from a USB port, or you can actually use this to charge your cell phone from the radio. And if you have an iPhone instead, we have this little adapter piece here that plugs into the end of that. And that's all I have. I am going to redo this bag eventually, whenever I have the money and time for it, but this is just what I have right now. I'll tell you the things I'm going to change for sure is I'm going to make sure I add a couple more like Ziploc bags and stuff like that, the 1-gallon ones. I'll get a bigger bag. I'm going to replace this machete here, possibly get a much fatter one, like a fatter blade, and have a curve to it and stuff like that. I also want to add some tarps. I have a couple of these tarps. These they're only 5 foot 6 inches by 7 foot 6 inches, but these are perfect for like making a little tent or some type of shelter. Definitely have those. There are a few other items. I'm not 100% sure exactly what I'm going to add yet. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. I will read them and follow up with you guys. But yeah, that's what I have for my hiking, camping, and bug out bag. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below and let me know what you want to see next.